Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Happy Sunday to you. And let me take a look and see who's here. First, let me make sure you can hear me, and I believe you can. So that works out. Okay. All right. Let me go back over here. Hello to Norma Campbell, Ania 13 Paul. Let's see. Susie Q, Kenita Ash, Mama Jane, Veronica Quick, Cookies and Cream, Fancy, Maureen Reed, Joan Garcia, Marcia Ware, Lydia Washington, Annie Bennett. I keep wanting to say Annette Bennett. You know that, don't you? The actress, Annie Bennett. And who else do we have here? Did I say Veronica Quick? Elaine Parker, Annie Bullard, Lady Bird, Victoria Fabre, Joan Commonwealther, hello to you, Margaret Rollin, Sherry Ware, and Connie Balmer, who's up late for us. Thank you so much, Connie Balmer. Brenda Gray, Rick, Susie Q? Yeah, I didn't say that, did I? Jennifer Clark, Black Queen. Okay, let me see. All right, now that was the very first people that said hello, including Leslie Millsap and so on. Sherry Ware. Let me go all the way to the last. Okay, Karina Kemp, Cynthia Thorpe, Mad World. Hello, Mesa Tree. Uh, Donna Reese. Mm, Let me pull my computer a little closer to these old, tired, bloodshot eyes of mine. There we go. That helps. That does help. Okay. Let's see. Charlotte B. Uh, Bonjour, bonsoir. Let me see here. Childish CC. H. Knight. All right. I think we got just about everyone, right, Vanetta Chapman? I think so. Okay. And Pretty Face. I know who I am, but who are you? Pretty Face. I know, but who are you? Hello, Bridget Cross. All right. So let's get into it, shall we? There we go. All right, so yesterday I was a bit conflicted by whether or not to share these, but then all of a sudden they were everywhere. And so I said to myself, well, she is out shopping, she is on the high street, and there is a limited expectation of privacy when one is out shopping in a zip code like Montecito, although there is kind of a unwritten code of silence amongst the residents. But I am very curious about these photos at the same time. Now, there is a video that I'm going to assume the video is a copyrighted video. Now, Anita from My Duke and I shared it, and she put a beautiful, it was a very short video, but she put together something absolutely beautiful as a tribute to our Duchess. And okay, so that was what I've seen first in terms of video was from Anita, right? But when I saw the video on one of the tabloid websites, it was kick, 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 kick. You just hear the rapid fire of the clicking shutter of the camera taking one photo in sequence, just one after the other. It was a very, I guess, jarring sound for someone like, let's say, a Prince Harry who has had more than his share of the camera in his lifetime. And I don't suppose that the the Duchess of Sussex could actually hear the camera. I'm pretty sure she could not, but still, listening to it in that format, it was very um I guess it gave me that kind of queasy feeling in my stomach because, as you know, we are all here because we are very protective of our Sussex family. And so that was a bit shaky to me. But aside from that, let's get to the other point of the photos. Yes, it probably made some money for the photographers, but for us here in the Sussex squad, it is that fine line between I just want to see the Sussexes living their best life, knowing that they're out and about, that they're happy, that they're not living like they are prisoners behind a 10-foot wall, like they're in some kind of, you know, uh, war torn country and they're living in some, I guess, outpost somewhere and they're hoping that the revolution doesn't reach their door. No, this is modern day America, the United States, and I have that guilty pleasure of wanting to see them um, doing just this normal things. And so um, that is the constant conflict. Where do you find the balance with that? Like the night that they went out to dinner, and obviously, whoever took those photos were probably an employee of the restaurant who saw the opportunity and took it. And Joan Garcia says, let me see, especially since they hide behind trees and in the bushes. And yeah, let's not forget the blackened windows of an SUV, as was reported that on the streets of Montecito, on the neighborhood streets, they tend to hide out. The other important thing is that none of the children are involved in the photos, and so that's a good thing. So I um I struggle with this. I struggle with this, and I look at everything. I don't share everything in terms of the photos that are taken by the paparazzi. I definitely, if the children are involved, like the 4th of July, but well, please tell me what your opinions are about that, because at a certain point, this was everywhere. And at that point, of course, I mentioned them yesterday, but I uh, wasn't comfortable sharing them. But, now they're everywhere. So, um, yeah. And probably this is the best day since Christmas for Wendy Foster. What say you? This is probably one of the best days ever for whoever owns Wendy Foster. If your name is Wendy Foster and you're selling anything, this is probably a good day for you. So, let's see whose birthday is today. Let's see. Let me see. This is a majority of jealous. No one is opining for their photos. Yeah, this is what the majority of jealous of is of no one is opining for their photos. That is very true. That is very true. Is that there are some so-called A-listers who would probably donate an organ to get this kind of attention. So yeah. And gosh, I was looking at a comment and I wanted to respond to it, and now I can't find it. Yeah, that's true, Maggot. At least nobody's up in her face. And of course, there's always that possibility that if you're shopping on the high street in Montecito, that even if it's just a civilian with a phone, that someone is likely to be there. Let's see. The paparazzi will do their thing. You can't stop it. Well, okay. When I was in New York that time, when they had the event at the um what do you call that? The Intrepid Museum. Now, I took a photo, and I had my camera, which has a telescopic lens of about 200 times. And then out of nowhere, this guy standing next to me pulled out this big, long gray lens that looked like a some type of military device, and he started snapping photos of the Sussexes, right? And I never shared my photo, but I didn't have to, because there was a photo of the person next to me that was not very clear, because after all, it was nighttime. So, of course, the photo was still rather grainy, but he took the photo standing right next to me. Now, of course, I saw the vehicle that they were in. I didn't share any of my photos. And even if the person standing next to me did not share their photos, those photos were for me and not, to share with anybody. So, I definitely wasn't gonna share those because it was a personal thing for me, and that was good enough for me. But, the guy standing next to me certainly did share the photos, and, anyway, they eventually took about a week before they sold them to the highest bidders, and then they found their way to the, tabloids and such. So, um but still, it was, it was easy to see the Duchess because she was wearing that red Carolina Herrera dress, and yeah, and so I've seen. I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that I've seen how they work, and it's incredible how fast this guy went from, looking like any other bystander. I still to this day could not tell you where did the camera come from. I don't know where the camera come from. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that he wasn't a bad guy because you know, I promise you, it was as though it was magic, and suddenly there was the camera. So, it was interesting to see how they work, but they didn't look like this guy obviously didn't look like he could have possibly have been anybody's squatty, right? So, I saw one guy with a camera, but this guy, I did not see his camera, but it was seemingly out of nowhere. And then suddenly there's this big giant lens next to me. And so I had to ask him if that was the Duchess. He said, yeah, she's in the red. But and you know what? Now that I think about it, I even took a photo. I did take a photo of the guy. As a matter of fact, you know what, you guys? I'm going to share you a couple of photos right now. I'm going to dig them out. I'm going to share you a couple of photos of the photographers because, of course, I if anything went down, I wanted evidence, and so I took photos of the photographers, and I'll show you which one pulls out the big lens while I was standing next to him. But yeah, I did that because I don't know. I just something told me to take a picture of him, and not that I thought it was anything, um, you know, to it, but I just did that as a caution because just in case something went down, I wanted to make sure that I had a photo of them, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you guys my photo since mine is of very poor quality compared to theirs. But yeah, I'll share that with you right now. Give me just a second to grab those photos and then I will share them with you. This is a very first time, an exclusive on Royal Sussex. A very Royal Sussex exclusive. I'm gonna have to work on that one. Yes, a very special Royal Sussex exclusive. Next time on Royal Sussex. I need to get something like that. Next time on Royal Sussex. Oh man. I should pay someone to do that voiceover for me. Next time on Royal Sussex. Okay, so this is the photo that was taken by the photographer next to me, right? Can you guys see that? That is the Duchess of Sussex the night of the gala at the Intrepid Museum, which of course is an aircraft carrier which is permanently moored in the harbor in New York and is used as an air and space museum. You can tour that when you go to New York, and it's a really cool place. Okay. And then these are the photographers. The one on the right side, you can see that massive camera. That's the guy that stood next to me. And we were up against one of those gates that you see there, but not those gates, but that's the kind of gate that they had. And so the Sussexes arrived from the street there where you see the one-way sign, and then they continued down the pier and to the entrance of the Intrepid. And so I would say they had to have been at least like a city block away, maybe a little longer, depending on the city. And hello, Dorothy Ross. So that was that night. So that is the photo that the photographer took. This is This is the oh, it looks like Boris Johnson has just removed himself from the leadership race. Very good. He tried to pull a bluff yesterday, but I'll talk about that later. Okay, and then on the right side is yet another photo of those two photographers, and on the left side, that is how far away from the entrance to the Intrepid I was. So you, as you can see, my camera, even with a 200 millimeter telescopic lens, was not nearly as powerful as that Canon he had on his shoulder. And then that grainy photo right there, that's the photo I took with my camera. So my camera versus his camera. See the big difference? Now, even with the high quality camera he had, the photo is not nearly as you know uh, good as it as if he was up close, but still much better quality than this big blurry mess of mine. So when you're taking a photo at nighttime, one thing that's very important is stability. You have to have a stable platform for your camera or use a tripod, which I had neither. So I didn't even think to try to balance my camera on the railing, or maybe I did and it still just didn't work out. But um, that plane in the background, that is the Concorde, one of those high speed Mach 2 Concords in the background there is. Oh, Ladybird, that's good news. They're going to choose the brown guy, huh? You know what? Give the brown guy a break. He's still a conservative and all that, but hopefully he will realize where he comes from and give the working class people of the United Kingdom a break. I hope so. Even though he comes from wealth, but I hope so. Okay, so that is my photo of the Duchess of Sussex, and I think I may have screamed out loud or whatever. I don't remember, but but it was fun being there. And that was my first flight that I took since the start of the pandemic, and that was November of 2021. And let me see, that had to have been yeah, that was November 10th. And so yeah, that was like a birthday trip for me. Okay. So anyway, thank you guys for letting me share that. And happy birthday to Black Pearl. All right. Happy birthday, Black Pearl. Yes, Lady Bird, the first non white to be prime minister that we know of the United Kingdom. And that is history. And I am looking forward to that. I don't really care whether the person is black or Asian or whatever they are. I love to see a world where we practice tolerance for other people and that we appreciate the talents that other people have. And if that person happens to be Asian or if that person happens to be white, it doesn't matter. But I just like to see a world where tolerance is, one of the default modes of thinking rather than racism and prejudice. So I'm glad for this day. I hope things change for the better for the working class Brits because they deserve a break. The economy in the United Kingdom has taken a big nosedive with all this trickle down crap. It never works. Um, so let's hope. Let's hope for the working class people. We have to stand in solidarity, just like with Lech Walesa, just like with South Africa. We have to stand in solidarity when we see that people are being wronged. Okay, so let's get back over here, shall we? We were talking about photos. So let's go to the next one, shall we? There is our Duchess looking every bit um, the model in that outfit. I mean, just casual chic is the only way to describe it. Casual chic. Let's see. The paparazzi probably was using a long-range lens, that is, in order to take the photos of Meghan while she was shopping. Okay, Mad World, let's have that discussion because this is this is something I'm trying to figure out. Now, I always say, and I don't want to try to scare anybody by saying this, but I always say there are no leaks. Oh, not that there are no leaks in Montecito, right? But yet, this is more than just one camera. This was still photos and a video camera or a camera on video mode was used to create these photos. Now, that is concerning to me because I'm always studying the details of architecture, of art, and always study the details of photos because I like to know how was that photo taken. Now you guys remember the other day when they had that photo of Meghan and we were having a discussion about the sky and whether or not those were clouds or storm clouds, and I said to me it looks like they used some type of way to blur and fuse the bushes behind her, and it gives like this effect. And what happened as we went through going through the photos, everything I said was confirmed or at least able to be explained. So I can't explain this one except to think that there was more than one photographer. There was more than one photographer that day. Now there's a possibility that maybe the photographer moved, so that's the possibility. So, in other words, this wasn't just a stroll from the shop to the car, but there's several photos from different angles. So that is what I'm thinking. And I guess the big question is, did they know she was going shopping, or did they, get an alert and just show up? Now it is Los Angeles, and there's plenty paparazzi out there. So maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But there you can see the Duchess getting in the car. Now, the reason why I say there were likely two photographers is because check this out. You get a view of her getting in the car here, and you have a view of her getting in the car there. Same guy getting in the car here, getting in the car there. So, how in the world were they able to take photos from two different positions? And I'm assuming that this is the same, you know, opportunity to step into the vehicle, seeing that she's carrying the same shopping bag. So, how could that happen unless there was someone else with a camera? So, it seems as though there were two people with cameras. I'm just guessing. I don't know that 100%, but I can only say that it appears to me that there were two cameras. Hello, Katerina Kemp. Glad you're here. So, what do you guys think? Two cameras, yes or no? So, we got this coming down the steps, and that looked like that is her assistant with her, or it could possibly be a bodyguard with her. Not for certain. But can we all agree on one thing? Damn, she looks good. She looks good. This is like ultra chic, casual glamour. Every bit the Duchess. Let me see. Baron, it was a long shot. They have even done background checks on Harry and Meghan's security. Yeah, I saw they did something with that guy from the trip to um, Dusseldorf. Now, I didn't talk about it because I don't want to help the tabloids do their work. But yes, I know the tabloids they look into everybody's background. If you're anywhere near a subject, they are likely to look into the background. And many times over the years, they have embarrassed the royal family by looking into the backgrounds of people. It's what they do. I would love for someone to look into the backgrounds of the people that work at the tabloids. I'm pretty sure there's lots of interesting stuff to find there. So, yeah, right? Right? She looks good. Let me see. I love her clothes. She always wears something amazing. This is like some of the best casual chic that I've seen since probably The Hague. Yep, probably since they went to The Hague. Let me see. Let me see. I've seen Baron Duchess of Success or Duchess of Sussex post Meghan's resume. Can a copy be posted or similar of Meghan's achievements on the community page or something? Sure. Sure, absolutely. I mean, I have one of those. I have the one listed where they do that comparison, and I think I may have one where it's not even comparing to that mediocre person. But yeah, I'll see if I can find one and put something up later. Absolutely. Okay. Hello to you too, Grace. And Liberta August says the Paps are lucky they get occasional pictures of Meghan while the royals yell, "Hey, we're over here." Oh man. Well, you know what? You know what? Okay, guys. Like I say, I'm struggling with this, and I'm not just paying lip service. I do struggle with what is okay to share. This is the high street, and she is out shopping. And of course, there is no expectation of privacy for any of us out in public. As a matter of fact, I know of a situation where there was a couple of photographers that were out working, and some a-hole took a photo of them because they took a photo of the Sussexes. So, like I said, there is no assumption of privacy when we're out in public. And since they took pictures of the Duchess of Sussex, I made sure I took a picture of them. Hello. Thank you, Elaine Parker. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday to you. But that's what they get for taking a picture of our faves. You take a picture of them, I'm going to take a picture of you because you took a picture of them. Just in case, because you never know. Like Medea said, you gotta get before you get got. And if you don't get before you get gat, you might get gat before you can get. That's what she told Dr. Phil. Lady Bird says if they get a picture of them inside their home, that would be a problem. Yeah, that would be a major problem. That would probably. Why do I keep hitting that arrow that I'm not supposed to hit? Why? For some reason I just hit the arrow. I don't know. It's like a little voice in my head say, "Don't forget to hit that arrow." It is. It's like there's a voice in my head that says, "Hey, huh? Don't forget to hit that arrow." What? Don't forget to hit the arrow. Make sure you log yourself out of your own channel. Okay. I don't know why I keep doing that, but it happens every so often. But the good thing is I have figured out how to quickly put myself back into the chat. Oh man, I got to stop doing that. For some reason, I look at the arrow and I want to go back as if I'm not logged in, and so that happens. Oh, see, I'm not the only one that's used to it. Oh man. Exactly, Lady Bird. Just don't start that other stuff, and I think we shouldn't have a problem. But if they do start that other stuff, then that is going to be we're gonna have to regulate. We are simply going to have to regulate. If they start that other stuff, then we're gonna have to regulate. There will be some repercussions. What was that Bernie Mac say? Please don't make me start moving furniture. When Bernie Mac said moving furniture, I could have screamed when he said that. That was the funniest thing ever. Uh, exactly. I look at it, and then as soon as I hit that arrow, I instantly regret that decision. I don't know what draws me up there. Something, something. Okay, so that, and again, I'm trying to figure out how did they get two camera angles at one time. Surely there's going to be some report about who is the person. Do you guys know who the lady in the green sweater is? I'm just asking. Surely we will find out soon from the you know uh, tabloids. But I was just curious if it's somebody I should know. Okay. Well, let me see. There's that. There's that. All right. So we know what Megan looks like when Megan is shopping on the high street. She looks pleasant. She looks casual. She looks elegant. I mean, this reminds me of the scene from Pretty Woman, but very casual. You know what I mean? Very casual. She's wearing a rather a different kind of Panamanian hat. She has her sunglasses. She has on a jumpsuit with the shoulders exposed and everything. Very, very chic. Or as they would say in France, très chic. Très chic. It is très chic, right? I hope I'm saying it right. Am I saying it right, Charlotte? Is it Trey Chic, right? I think so. Well, anyway, it's a good look for her, and I approve. I do approve. Of course, it's the Duchess of Sussex. I always approve. I mean, it's just a given. It's like Lady Grantham winning the flower show. Doesn't she always win? Doesn't she always win the flower show? So yeah, I approve. And I approve of you too, Charlotte. Très chic. Okay. All right. I think we're all agreed it is très chic. Now, there is another member of the royal family who hit the high street about 2 years ago. And when I say she hit the street, it looked like the street hit her. Instead of her hitting the high street looked like it hit her. Bam! Take a look. That is the what was that? How do you say it? Oh yeah, the Duchess, formerly known as Duchess Doolittle. When she hit the high street, it looked like the high street hit her. I don't know who she was leering at. She obviously saw the photographer, but somebody caught her ducking into a shop one day. As you can see, she's not wearing the full amount of hair extensions, but there she is. She's clutching her purse, like even with a team of security officers, somebody might grab that bag with whatever she has in the bag. I'm guessing it's something that has caused her to vacation for 30, 60 to 90 days. See how she holding that bag? Whatever in that bag, she has managed to vacation for 30, 60 to 90 days. Well, anyway, as I say, when she hit the high street, it looked like the high street hit her. So, but I can explain that look. The other reason why she has that rather curious look on her face is because she knew something that everybody else was talking about at the time, and that is the fact that oh, it was probably a week later, one of the most iconic fashion plates in the world, someone who has sold more fashions than just about anybody alive today. That's right, the Duchess of Sussex was coming. And so she went shopping for something. I don't know what she thought she was going to find, but she figured she might pull something out to make sure that everybody knows that she's the, the fashionable one in the family, but it didn't work. Yeah, so this photo of Duchess Doolittle on the high street was taken maybe about a week or two before the Duchess of Sussex gave the royal family a lesson in how to dress as a member of the royal family, how you can use simple, clean lines. In other words, you wear the fashions don't wear you. And they said a long time ago that fashion is something that you buy and taste is something that you're born with. And some people have it and some people don't. And for those who don't, they hit the high street looking like the high street just hit them. And and they find themselves looking rather disturbed. I mean, she has everything in common with someone that has escaped an asylum from all appearances, but whatever. I'm not going to get into all that who shot John today, but I'm just saying she doesn't have a very pleasant demeanor about herself. And of course, if you take a look at our Duchess, no matter what, she's living her best life. So when I saw this photo, I said, you know what? I wonder if I still have it. No, I didn't. I know I still got it because why would I ever delete this? Why? I have gotten hours of pleasure from looking at these rather disturbing photos of the Duchess of Doolittle. So I just hang on to them because, well, you never know when you might need them. Oh man. Let me see. There we go. Let me see. Hi, all. Listening while ironing. Very cool. Very cool. Welcome. I was looking to see if you were on today, and anyway, I hate to overlap, so I was looking to see if you were on today. But anyway, glad you're here, and glad to help you with your ironing. Let me see, and then it says here. I just got back from my auntie's house. Didn't get to do my daily errands. Oh, I understand. I understand. How many times have I hopped on my bike and rode over to the grocery store just before they close? Let me see. Last night, so yeah, this is a lot of work, you guys. It especially if you're doing something daily, and so I'm pretty sure Ann knows all about that. But yeah, it is work, but it's rewarding because I mean you get to hang out with you guys. Okay, so let me see, and then there's this. One of the squatties decided, oh, is Pedal here? Did I just see Hey Pedal? Pedal, are you on today? I thought I saw Hey Pedal, maybe not. I don't know. I thought I saw it somewhere. The thing is moving. Well, anyway, well, there you have it. Someone decided to marry those two photos together. The Duchess of Sussex on your left is one of those Michonne Harriman photos. And of course, just recently we found the one on the right side. So the one on the right side, of course, is, I think that's the proper direction. The one on the left is flipped. Anyway, they flipped them and married the two together. And I love it because um, I love the way they're engaged with one another. They're together, enjoying the moment as per usual. And then, of course, the very formal looking directly into the camera. So, whoever put this together on Twitter, good work. I love it. And I'm glad I was able to share it with everybody. All right. So, let's talk about the crown. Let's talk about the crown. Let's cleanse our palates. Oh, let me move myself out the way here. How stars of the crown, as well as its creator, accepted top honors from members of the royal family despite playing significant roles in the insensitive new series. Insensitive. I'm surprised they didn't underline insensitive. They are playing roles in the insensitive new series. Did you guys know that the series is insensitive? Did you guys know that? You know, whatever the tabloids have said and done to the likes of, let's even say, Carolyn Flack or the Princess of Wales, the real Princess of Wales, whatever they have done that was insensitive, malicious, and may have even cost the occasional life here and there, um, the tabloids I hold responsible for costing the life of an unborn child. However, when they make a dramatization about the royal family, especially when we find out that they were not given access to some of the official records of the Queen's time on the throne for 70 years, they took a bit of license with their story in a way that was probably more gratuitous than if they would have just given them access to the actual storylines as they were written by whoever keeps the records for the royal family. But they wouldn't do that. So they took a little license and made the series their way. They probably would have done it anyway. But several of the Crown stars and its creator have accepted honors from the royals. This is despite playing big roles in new series, which has been called insensitive. Imelda Staunton, 66, who plays the Queen, received a CBE from Prince William. Jonathan Pryce, 75, who plays Prince Philip, was given knighthood by the Queen. Oh, so that means they own them? Does that mean that they own them? They were given an honor because they have created wealth for the greater country and for themselves, of course. They have given jobs to people. They have maintained the high standards of acting in Britain, you know, world renowned for the fine actors and such. They have been a part of something greater. They have worked. They were able to sing for their supper, which is much more than I could say for, say, Prince William for presenting the CBE or whatever. So whatever, who cares? Obviously, the tabloids suddenly have grown a conscience and they just can't stand the idea that people actually have something to say about the royal family that is not coming from their dreaded media outlets or leaked to them by someone within the royal household. So they are bothered by that. Let's see who's on the menu today. Imelda Stanton, she plays the Queen. Jonathan Pryce plays Philip, and of course Leslie Manville plays Margaret. And then the creator and writer of The Crown, Peter Morgan. Now, all of these people won awards. Now, one thing I learned from Petal was able to cut through all that nonsense and go right to the meat of it. Petal says, of Facts and Two Cents, Petal says that it's when you accept those awards, then they expect you to go to bat for them. They expect you to defend them. They don't just give you those honors because of a job well done. They give you those honors because they want you to defend them should the time come. Like, for instance, if somebody goes rogue and write a series called The Crown and bring up some of the most embarrassing details of your life. Now, let's face it, you guys, up until this point, The Crown has been a love letter to Elizabeth Windsor. The Crown has been a love letter to Prince Philip and even to Charles. I mean, they haven't done bad by The Crown, but once The Crown really digs in deep and goes inside of the palace's sordid stories, then all of a sudden they get caught up in their feelings. Well, oh man, I wanted to say tough again, but I'm gonna I got to stop thinking of that in my head. But I was thinking tough, tough. But yeah, tut tut. That is exactly what happened. They did receive their honors, and by the way, I would have given her, Leslie Manville, I would have given her an honor just for wearing that suit. I don't know about the shoes and the hat, a little bit too bright, but the suit is all that. Looks like the hem is undone, but it is a very, very cool suit. So let's see. Black Queen says, beat up on Diana, Meghan, Harry, and everyone. No insensitivity. I'm insensitive. Excuse me. No insensitivity there, right? Insensitivity overload only pertains to the unroyal family mafia. I'm sorry, the unroyal mafia family. Sorry about that. These people are the epitome of terrible humans. Amen to that. Amen to that. They want to have it both ways. They want to be able to destroy people that are in disagreement with them, and yet they want everybody to only give the fairy tale account of the institution because it is so important to keep them ensconced in those multiple homes, fleet of Range Rovers and Bentleys, and not to mention the private jets and helicopters. It is more important than people having food on their tables, obviously. Cookies and Cream says, was it insensitive when the Unroyals and their racist thugs abused and lies push Meghan to that ideation? Was it insensitive when the Sussexes' children were being racially abused? Great point, Cookies and Cream. Okay, I'm gonna scroll. So Boris Johnson drops out of UK leadership race. Good on him. He pulled that bluff yesterday, and I was like, "Oh wow, he's got 100-point lead." That was all a big lie. That was all a big lie. The whole time, Richie Sunak was is it Sunak? Sumak? He was in the lead. Isn't that something? A liar to the end. Okay, so moving on. New series of Netflix's The Crown is vicious and would have destroyed the Queen. One of the late monarch's closest friends says the vicious latest season of The Crown. You know what? These headlines are giving me my life. I promise you they are. The new season of The Crown would have destroyed the Queen. A close friend of the late Queen said she's horrified by how the family are portrayed. Fifth series is due to be the most contentious yet, with controversial storylines. Show touches on Princess Diana's death and Charles and Camilla's relationship. Now, I'm getting nervous about this, not because I'm afraid that the royals' feelings may be hurt or the royals may be exposed. One of the reasons why I'm getting nervous is because I'm just afraid that the storyline is not going to live up to all the hype. I want I want nothing less. Do you hear me? Nothing less than mayhem on the screen. I want to see the whole story. I don't want that little fairy tale, period piece drama that I saw the past 4 seasons. I want some meat to it. Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Where's the beef? I want the beef. I sound like I just escaped from a women's prison, don't I? I want the beef. Where's the I sound I sound like I just escaped from a men's prison. Where's the beef? I want some beef. Where is the beef? I better stop before I get arrested. Somebody might think I'm trying to send a signal or something. Anyway, put some, oh, that sounds weird. Yeah, anyway, put some meat into it. Oh, man. Okay, it's getting weird now. Let me stop. So, as I was saying, but seriously though, I do want some actual substance here because so far, I think they have been treating them with kid gloves, and I want some substance, darn it, and I want it now. Nash Singby, thank you so much for becoming a member of Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday to you. I just noticed that in the conversation here. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. Okay, so let me see. Now, before I had you all thinking that I've been to the big house, what was I talking about? Oh, yes, I'm talking about this series. So, I'm going to tell you something. If anything or anybody has caused harm to the very delicate, I guess you could say delicate, the very delicate composition, the very delicate nature of the queen, if anybody has caused her harm, wasn't it this guy? Didn't Andrew cause harm? I would think that Andrew, who encouraged his mother, if not begged his mother, to pay out a bunch of money to somebody he never met for something that he didn't do or never did. If you paid out 12 million pounds to somebody you never met for something you didn't do, wouldn't that cause any type of problems, or wouldn't that be upsetting? Wouldn't that cause anguish? Let me see what this woman said. Um, Very vicious and would have destroyed the queen. Well, did he destroy the queen? I mean, was it the Sussexes? Interview? Was it? Oh, I think somebody implied that it was the archetypes. Maybe she saw archetypes before she died. Well, we all know that Liz Truss shook her hand, and that was, the last person she publicly met. But the sick old man, the sick old man caused more anguish than you could imagine. I mean, let's face it, you guys. It's one thing. It's one thing that the Sussexes left royal duty. They stepped back from royal duty. Well, stuff like that happens. But the very idea that Andrew caused all that embarrassment and, of course, risked the very future of the royal family, now that's news. That's anguish. That's painful. Daniel Medical, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you for clicking on my channel. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex and being a member of Royal Sussex. Greatly appreciate it. So, again, this is the person who I say allegedly done the old lady in. Allegedly. I don't mean done her in. I mean, caused her a great deal of anguish that probably contributed to her already delicate state of health. I think that she probably spent her last hours wondering if this person might actually bring down the monarchy, right? Um, and so I have an unofficial version of the death certificate. Now, this is unofficial. I shared this with you before, but notice they listed cause of death, old age. But I decided that they omitted a certain portion of it. So I was able to somehow get a copy myself, and I just inserted another cause of death. Well, cause A, old age, cause B, a 12 million pound settlement. A 12 million pound settlement. That was the other aggravating cause of death was a 12 million pound settlement. I mean, let's face it, Lizzie was kind of tight with her coins, right? She was kind of tight. This is a woman who owned a castle and slept in a log cabin and ate out of Tupperware bowls and paper plates. Now, she was tight. So, if she was that tight with her money, well, anybody with a brain would know that paying out 12 million pounds settlement caused her quite a bit of grief. It would have to. So, I'm no detective or anything, but I'm just saying, I if I was in a position to state what I thought probably happened, I would say that this was one of the aggravating causes of her demise. I couldn't say early. I mean, she was 96, but I'm just saying that had to be a problem for her. So who cares what's going on the crown? I mean, you got him. That's huge. I mean, because where there's smoke, there's fire. And so he had to be one of the reasons that she suffered so much in those last years of her life. And of course, in order to protect him, remember ABC, they allegedly killed a story because they wanted to protect him. So the queen went above and beyond to make sure that he was safe. She even let that buffoon walk her into church that time, much to the dismay of everybody. And of course, the photo of him walking into church, we weren't supposed to see that. That was because this one photographer would not stay in his seat. They tried to hide him behind people, but he was like, nope, I'm moving up front. And so he snapped that last photo of the queen at that particular event. And that is how we got that photo. Okay. So, and then of course, I mean, this was all leading up to the settlement. All of that was leading up to the settlement. And don't forget Fergie. Fergie was the other part of that marriage that caused problems. Remember, anytime Fergie was at Balmoral, whenever Philip showed up, she had to make a run for it. So the Queen has had a lot of things to trouble her in her life. Remember, 1992, a year that I will not look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a, what did I say it was yesterday? It was a annus horribilis. In other words, that's Latin for a anus, a horrible anus, an anus horribilis. It was what she said it was. Anus horribilis. It was pretty bad. And of course, there's Prince Charles with his cash for honors. That was one of the things that she knew about that caused her anguish. Wouldn't need anything like the crown to make her feel bad. And of course, remember, it took her years before she agreed to meet Camilla. The only reason why she finally sat down with Camilla is because Camilla and Charles crashed the birthday party for the king of Greece, the deposed king of Greece. And that was the first time that they had ever sat down together or sat in the same room. But other than that, the queen was trying to avoid her like the plague, which don't forget, remember when the queen was uh, struck by the pandemic? It was because those two came to see her. And about a week later, they said, well, actually, it was days later, they said Charles was sick. And then about a week later, they said, well, we're watching the Queen. And then after that, they said, oh, yeah, there was some type of outbreak at Windsor Castle. And I just don't believe that. I don't believe that there was some outbreak at Windsor Castle. I believe that there was a guest at Windsor Castle, and that guest somehow caused that to happen. They don't say who it was. Charles. Charles. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that, you guys. But they don't say who it was. They make it sound like it was some staff person or someone protecting the queen. Charles. Oh my goodness, my allergies. But yeah, they don't say who it was, but all of a sudden she got sick. Serendipity? I don't think so. And then, of course, what about this incident? Now, this would have been a hair raising. This would have been a hair raising event for the Queen. I mean, wasn't she humiliated by that German museum who accidentally, well, I guess it wasn't an accident, who shared a photo of her waxworks figure? They removed that signature hat of hers, exposing the. Now, if anything would have been upsetting, was it, wouldn't this wouldn't this cause anguish for an old woman if somebody displayed a waxwork of you and you um look like bozo or something? Wouldn't that upset you? I didn't do that. The Sussexes didn't do it. That was a German museum. So again, they say the crown is like the worst thing. The crown. That's awkward to say right now, isn't it? But they say the crown would have caused her a great deal of anguish had she been alive to see it. But I'm just pointing out that there are several things. There are several. There are several things that may have caused the queen anguish in her declining years. All of her children but one divorcing, and then the one who didn't divorce had a very snappy way of dressing in a very non-binary, non-threatening, use the right pronoun kind of way with his maxi military coat and his well-formed thigh muscles and calf with these stirrup pants and a little bit of a heel too, I might add. Um, that certainly didn't seem to take her out of here. So why would one assume that with that non-binary son, the other three children having divorced, and then the eldest, the heir, brings his mistress and um, promises to put her on the throne and even somehow coerce you into having the world refer to her as the queen consort. If all that stuff didn't do her in, why would anybody suspect the crown would be her undoing? I'm just making conversation here. I'm just making conversation. Why do we suspect the crown would have been the undoing for the queen? I mean, you wake up, everybody knows that the royal family, their day starts and ends with the Daily Mail, right? So she opens up the Daily Mail and oof, oof with her hair. Orf with her hair. German waxwork model of the Queen is left bald under her hat to avoid museums splashing out too much money on real locks. Well, they decided to cut the budget when it comes to the Queen's hair. So anyway, I'm just trying to build a case here. I'm trying to point out the hypocrisy of declaring the crown as something that would have upset the queen so much. She's had to deal with quite a few things in her life. What about that time when Prince Philip's car what about that time when Prince Philip's car became airborne and he broke that woman's arm? Now that was upsetting and the queen did just fine. Now, the Prince Philip decided to try to relive or enact a scene from the Dukes of Hazzard on that rural Windsor Great Park. Prince Philip's car became airborne and he broke that woman's arm, and the Queen did just fine. I mean, he rolled the car over. He was upside down in his Range Rover when the authorities rescued him. The woman's arm was broken, and of course, Philip looked completely outraged. He said the sun had caught his eye. Well, the sun ain't the only thing that seems to catch his eye, and which is why they're worried about the new season of The Crown. But literally, the car became airborne. He pulled a General Lee with his Range Rover trying to cross the road. Why did Philip cross the road? I don't know. To reenact the scene from The Dukes of Hazzard. So the Duke of Windsor pulls a Dukes of Hazzard and broke that woman's arm. And of course, they didn't even apologize to her. It took a long time before they even acknowledged that they broke her arm. But she was riding down the road, and she said all of a sudden, Philip just went right through the intersection on a main thoroughfare and smashed into her car, and that is when he became airborne. That is when he became airborne. Lydia, I'm trying to build a case here. That is when he became airborne and his car was jettisoned in the air and somehow came smashing down into the side of this woman's Vauxhall or whatever the heck she's driving. And somehow her arm was broken. And they didn't even apologize. It took a long time before she received any acknowledgement. Is that what it is? Oh man. So again, I'm just making the case that there are other things in this world that are more upsetting to Her Majesty the Queen besides the crown. Thou dost protest too much, I believe. And of course, now that all of that's over with, now Charles has some things that are going to upset him. Like Brexit is the big lie. Yes, supporters rally in Edinburgh for EU reentry. That was yesterday. Yes, supporters gathered in Edinburgh on Saturday to voice support for Scotland's place in the European Union as an independent country. So the troubles for the royal family, they're deflecting. They're using the crown as an excuse to not pay attention to a lot of domestic things that are going on. Don't worry about Peter, what's his name, with the crown. Worry about the country. You know what I'm saying? Worry about your country because it is falling apart. And then March for Independence, Saturday, May 6, 2023, Glasgow. There is going to be huge demonstrations all over that island on Saturday, May 2023. That is the coronation day. Again, Archie's birthday is going to be highlighted so we don't pay attention to the domestic troubles that King Charles III has to deal with. And of course, there are going to be several squatties in the crowd looking for the guy in the yellow t shirt that says, "Not my king." Okay, he's going to be out on Saturday, May 6th. The tough part is trying to figure out where he is, but he'll be there. So if he's going to be there, I suggest that you guys are there. But yeah, so there's other stuff going on, and I hope I have finally put to rest this idea that the crown is like the biggest thing that royal family has to concern themselves with, or that the Sussexes are causing them some type of anguish. That is not the case. They are living their best life. Harry is working his day jobs. The Duchess of Sussex is working her day job. Why is it so complicated? Leave them alone and just worry about what's happening in Narnia. They're minding their business. You got the new princess and the new Prince of Wales. Two of them together does not equal a day's work for Harry and Meghan. The two of them together, it would take them a week of sitting around keening to do something to add up to an hour of the Sussex's workload. It would take them a week of keening to add up to what the Sussexes have done for the world. So um, that's all I got to say. All right. Let's see. Sharon Jones says, I'm in the Lurkers Lounge, but laughing my head off over here. Hope the squatties are doing well on this glorious Sunday afternoon. Well, Sharon, I'm so glad you're here and thank you so much. And I hope you are enjoying Royal Sussex. And I hope you enjoy all of these platforms that support the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Very important to please support all of the platforms whenever possible. And just like Anne is doing her ironing, Anne of Duchess of Success, I quite often, after I'm done, I will usually prepare lunch or dinner while I'm listening to the Duchess of Success. And then I go over to Sharian or Petal. And of course, if it's Sunday, it must be Hello, Ivy here. And of course, Anita of My Duke and I, who usually has something on earlier in the day. And of course, Claire Kane and the Sussexes thriving and such. And so, yes, there are many. There's Duchess of Impact. So, thank you so much, Sharon. And I appreciate you being here. And then, of course, there's this. I found this today because one of the squatties shared this, and I was like, oh, do tell. The Truth About the Queen's Birth by a storyteller, but latest claims are pure fiction, says critics. Well, before you guys get upset, take a look at the date. It is April 18th, 2012. Lady Colin Campbell's book dismissed as rumor masquerading as history. Well, I didn't see the outrage about her book the way they are outraged about the Crown. Having made a series of outrageous claims about various royals over the years, aristocratic author Lady Colin Campbell is not afraid of controversy. The eccentric writer provokes a storm of criticism when she asserted that Princess Diana had an affair with King Juan Carlos of Spain. Yuck. Last month, she surpassed herself with claims that the Queen Mother was the daughter of her family's French cook. Well, now, you know what? You know what? I had to think about that one. And they did nickname her Cookie, didn't they? Wasn't that the nickname that the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, Wallace Simpson, wasn't that the nickname that they gave the Queen Mother, Cookie? Now, I thought they called her Cookie because she looks like Mrs. Patmore. She has that same very stout, low center of gravity frame. You know what I mean? The Queen Mother was very round and stout and short. So she had a very low center of gravity. As a matter of fact, her center of gravity was so low that if she was driving on that rural Windsor Great Park Road that day, this would have never happened because she's so short and heavy and stout that her center of gravity is much lower. And if she if, if she was in the car with Prince Philip, his car never would have become jettisoned and ricocheted across that road like the General Lee in the Dukes of Hazzard. That would have never happened because she has that very stout, heavy, low center of gravity. Well, at least she had. So that wouldn't have happened. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so yesterday she somehow managed to trump that by deciding that the Queen and Princess Margaret were conceived by artificial insemination. Yuck. Um, so even back in 2012, even back in 2012, it seems as though Lady Colin Campbell's had this wild imagination, and I'm like not really on board with most of what she says. However, the thing about calling her Cookie and then her declaring that some French chef, and the chef is what? A cook. Maybe that's why they called her Cookie. Maybe they knew something we didn't know. I doubt if that's the case, but it is fun to think about. And that's the whole point of most of this stuff, is to just have fun with it and try not to take it so serious all the time, because as I love to say, we have to protect our mental health, and it's not always easy because some of these lies and half truths and exaggeration are painful to hear, but we have to protect ourselves when when listening to this stuff, because otherwise it can be very hurtful and it can injure us mentally, and that's not a good idea. So that's one thing that I always aim for, is to tell the story and to also have some fun with it. And so, apropos of that, I just want to remind you guys. Which is really so sad. The people with the hate channels, they have, like, especially Lady C. As far as I'm concerned, that's a hate channel. And Lady C routinely gets some huge numbers of people who wake up with this desire to hate. I don't understand that. The Fox network here in the US, it's not as though they have. Yes, it's true. I believe that that is a hate channel, and I also believe that when Lady C turns sideways, she looks just like a nickel. She looks like one of our founding fathers. She looks like one of the signatories of the Declaration of Independence. As a matter of fact, I think Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, did he not? So there's that connection. If the Queen Mother is called Cookie because she looks like a cook, then I guess we should call Lady Campbell a nickel because she looks like a nickel. So there you go. A little shadiness on the side with today's Royal Sussex. Okay, you guys, and then there's this. Then there's this. Let's cleanse our palate, shall we? If you notice, the global inflation rates, Turkey, 83.45%, as Argentina, the Netherlands at 14.5, and Germany and the United Kingdom are both 10% inflation rates. The European Union as the whole is 9.9%. Spain, 8.9%. Italy, 8.9%. Mexico, 8.7%. And by the way, Mexico is one of our biggest trading partners, if not the biggest trading partner. But anyway, we do a lot of trade with Mexico. And of course, the United States, 8.2%. So, what am I trying to say here? Inflation is a global problem, and it wasn't created by Joe Biden, but you wouldn't know that by listening to the Daily Mail, who loves to call it Bidenflation. Joe Biden did not create the global inflation rate. That is something that is a result of the pandemic. Well, I got this list from the interweb, but I have no doubt that Switzerland is doing well because if they weren't, they would have actually listed it here. So, yeah, this is the global inflation rate. Joe Biden, and don't forget, you guys, make sure that you vote this coming election. I voted for Joe Biden. I think this guy voted for Joe Biden, maybe, possibly, I don't know. But Joe Biden has done a good job as far as I'm concerned, and I know some people like to cite his age, and I really do think he may be suffering from poor eyesight. But yeah, he seems like he wanders off and all that kind of stuff. But by and large, he's doing a great job. He's doing what he's promised, and the artificial inflated prices of fuel here in the United States, I tell you, I've shown you the information before. No matter how much we're paying for fuel, we're always paying much less than just about everybody on this list right here. We usually are paying less than everyone. About a fact, yeah, I'm going to just say everyone else on this list, we are paying less for gasoline than anybody on this list. If you don't believe it, there is an independent company that gives you the rates that are paid, and the United Kingdom usually pays twice as much as we do. So that is a constant that as Americans, you guys are very blessed. We are blessed that we usually pay very low fuel prices. Although anything that challenges our budgets are, hurtful, but we're still paying less. So all I can say is give God the glory, know when you're blessed, and remind people, yes, we are blessed. So um, it's unfortunate that everybody is paying more, but we always pay less here. So I voted for Joe Biden, and I still support him, and I think he's doing a good job. And I am going to just say that because that's how I feel. Plus, he looks great in a pair of aviator glasses. I mean, he was made for those Ray Bans. As a matter of fact, I think he was there when they invented those Ray Bans some 100 years ago. Oh man. Okay, and so then we have this here. That is the outfit. They say the jumpsuit is $595, and that's sold out. And of course, the wide brim hat, the sweater, all that stuff is sold out. So, not Queen Meghan selling out the Montecito jumpsuit in 48 hours. No turkey for the haters and copy machine before Christmas. So, there you go. They have sold out of those things because of the Duchess of Sussex. As per usual, it's like someone just said, the others are wondering how come they're not being noticed, whereas the Duchess of Sussex seems to have every camera pivot in her direction. Let me see. Marshall says UK's 10.1% inflation rate, and that will still want to spend millions on the parade for themselves. Yeah, they still want to have the coronation at a time of austerity that we're living in, with multiple food banks opening up across the United Kingdom, and I'm sure other countries as well. And you guys know we do have them here in the United States. Um, there are still food banks. Now, you guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm not being critical of the United Kingdom. As a matter of fact, I always stand in solidarity with working class people. I stand in solidarity with poor people because I've been both. And because of that, that is where my heart is. I feel as though the workers are the true heroes of society. Without a middle class, you could not have a democracy. I repeat, without a middle class, there is no democracy. And you wouldn't know that because of the way politicians love to attack the middle class, the working class. But the thing is, that's where the power of the vote lies is with the working class people. And that is where the economy, that's what hinges on a good and bad economy, is the working class people. So I like to remind people that don't feel bad about yourself if you're a working person, no matter what job you're doing. You are the most essential part of the ability of society to maintain for everybody. I mean, that's how it is. My parents were heroes to me because they, they worked. They worked every day. That's where I got my work ethic from. And whether it was in the home or away from home, they were hardworking people all of their working lives. So I celebrate that, and we should celebrate each other for that. So um, don't let these one percenters make you feel less than, and don't take any crap off of them because they seem to have all the power. They don't. Got to take that power back. And, and just because a politician may have been awful in the past or may have, played the game in the past, if they're doing what you need to be done now, then support that person. So that's what I have to say about that. Let me see. Lauren says Meghan is just helping the economy at this point. She is. I mean, look at what she's done for the fashion industry. That is funny, but it is also very true. And just think, Meghan could have been over there helping the fashion industry or continuing to help them, but because she was driven out of the country by members of the press and the royal family with their pitchforks and torches and stuff. She came over here to the United States, and now she's helping businesses here. So there you go. And as much as they try to condemn the Sussexes and make it so nobody wants to work with them or be around them and all that kind of stuff, it's just not working. It is absolutely not working. They are living their best life. And that's why I love this. By the way, thank you, Lauren, so much for the super chat. And thank you for being here on Royal Sussex. But that's why I love this. Harry is living his best life, and he's never been afraid to show his love for other people, and neither has the Duchess of Sussex. Um, oh, didn't mean to put that one up, but yeah, he's living his best life. So forget about those people. All right, those are slides from yesterday. All right, let me see here. I'm scrolling. Oh wow! All right, I'm all the way at the last slide. Not slide, but Cold War Steve created this. In the back, there is Boris Johnson, and up front there is Richie Sunak. Richie Sunak in his snappy, snazzy red car. There, it seems as though he is winning. And in the background, you always have to study these photos or these art renderings by Cold War Steve. Now, you guys, I'm just going to take a look here and tell you what I see. You can see a warm bank back there because this winter with the fuel prices, people are going to have to go and, how they have those cooling centers during the heat waves? Well, they're going to have to find places to stay warm during the cold wave, if you will. And of course, there's the Union Jack being used to signal who's won the race. And there is this poor downtrodden old woman with a crust of bread and a wad of rice to eat. And in the background, of course, there is St. Paul's Cathedral. There's the shard known as the cheese grater. So, yeah, this is like a snapshot of things that have been, but even worse, things that are to come. So, that is a dystopian view of the future, the way that things are going. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But yeah, so you always have to study those images from Cold War Steve. You guys, if I recall, there are 2 birthdays coming up. I hope I'm not wrong for saying this, but last year it turns out that one of the uh, Sussex Squad content creators has birthday just 2 days before my own. And so I'm just reminding you guys, it is Scorpio season. Yes. Or is it almost Scorpio season? Is has Scorpio started already? But yes, it's almost Scorpion season. So watch where you step. I guess you could take that both ways, but watch where you step. You know how those scorpions are. Now, one thing about the scorpions or the Scorpios is the very dark past. Well, you know what I say? I don't like to talk about it. And of course, they are usually kind of tough, but I tell you what, when it comes to friendship, they are ride or die. Now, some people don't subscribe to the astrology, but again, I like to use it just for fun. It seems like they get a lot of things right, though. So, ride or die is what you get with the Scorpios. Ride or die. And of course, don't lie to a Scorpio. They are natural investigators and will always find out the truth. Got it? They always find out, and they be just as casual and shaking their head and laughing with you and everything. But the truth is, they trying to figure out how they wait. They're trying to figure out how you're going to be dealt with. So take it from people that live in Arizona. Watch where you step with those Scorpios because ooh, they messy. Oh, it's the 24th, is it? Okay. Yeah, so watch where you step. Don't step on them because that little stinger of theirs just whips around and catch you in the calf or the neck or something. So yeah, Scorpios are awful. I know. Okay, this is another Cold War, Steve. The Brexit Express, not in service. And there's Theresa May, there's Boris, there's I always forget his name. The one that was before Theresa May. It wasn't Gordon Brown. What is his name? Something anyway. He's another one of those people that went to the right school. But yeah, so she's getting out of there because well anyway, she has enriched a lot of people, but have wrecked a lot of other people's future. And I guess she's done now. She could take her 115,000 pounds a year. Oh, David Cameron, thank you so much. I always forget his name. And then lastly, this is like an image I just threw in there just for fun. And that, of course, is my little mirror image of the Sussexes that I made that the photo in red reminded me of. Well, this is the one I created um, from their wedding day. One of my favorite photos of the Sussexes. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here on Royal Sussex this fine Sunday. Oh, Claire Kane is here. Hello, Claire Kane. Yet another great content creator for the Sussexes. So let's see. Well, that's fun. We had a visit from Claire Kane, um, Duchess of Success, and let me see who else was here. Um, boy, how fast I forget. Anyway, it was somebody else here. But yeah, so thank you so much, everybody. And thank you, people in the Eastern time zone that stayed up late. Oh, Lauren Brown, thank you so much. Oh man, I'm getting bad. But yeah, thank you guys. Okay, so with that, let me say thanks again for the moderators that keeps this a safe space. And I tell you, when I knew that I was just like, um, when I knew that I was just like the ultimate Scorpio, is when I found out that I shared birthdays with Charles Bronson and Anna Wintour. So don't mess with me. Charles Bronson and Anna Wintour. I share birthdays with Charles Bronson and Anna Wintour. Now, I don't know what that means, but it got to mean something. Yeah, it probably means I wouldn't invite myself over to my house. Charles Bronson and Anna Wintour, and also Dolph Lundgren from well, you know, the one that was dating Grace Jones. By the way, I just saw a video of Grace Jones. God, she looks good. She looks good, right? I always thought she was so beautiful, so regal and elegant, just gorgeous. And she nothing has changed. Grace Jones is still all that. She looks amazing. Amazing. I mean, she has aged very well, and she's just as tenacious and dare I say a little menacing as ever. Oh, really? You and the president? I didn't think Biden was a Scorpio, is he? Well, if he is, God help us. Uh, right, Masha? I love Grace Jones. Yeah, I think she's so beautiful. I still remember back in 1980, I was at a record shop and I purchased a 45 RPM of Grace Jones. Pull up to the bumper, baby. Yeah, I remember I bought that. And probably still have it, knowing me. Judy Rigo, the 3rd of November, just like Anna Wintour. Yes, and one of the Lionos from the Jeffersons was born on that day, as well as I'm trying to think who else. It was quite a few. Oh, that singer Adam Ant. I'm just following ancient history. If you strip, no, if I strip for you, will you strip for me? He had that really awful song back in the 80s. I think it was called Strip or whatever, which ties into my former profession as an exotic dancer, by the way. Yeah. Oh, wow. Interesting. Interesting. Very cool. Yep, those Scorpios, guys, those Scorpios, they are a weird, wacky bunch. And Scorpios, no wonder it's so easy for me to keep receipts. It's done out of habit. Oh yeah, Roseanne Barr. Yeah. She's a Scorpio and crazy as a Betsy bug, as crazy as a road lizard. I almost forgot about her. And that comedian I used to like, and I don't like him anymore. Uh, Dennis Miller. I'm not a big fan of his anymore. Cheryl Bennett, really, very cool. All right. Well, you guys know what I got for my birthday a couple of years ago, right? Do you guys remember what I got for my birthday 2 years ago? I'm going to tell you what I got for my birthday 2 years ago. Ready? This. That is when Joe Biden won the presidency, was on November the 3rd. And also, after a drought of about what was it, 95, 100 years, that is when the Chicago Cubs back in 2016 won the World Series, was on November the 3rd. So yes, the two biggest events that I can think of in recent history, and that is Biden getting rid of that orange menace. Thank you, Jesus, for that. And of course, the Chicago Cubs finally winning the World Series. Um, that happened on my birthday. And you know what, guys? I have to tell you, I had a chance to participate in the parade that day, but I did not because I was with my family for my birthday, and but anyway, I could have possibly worked, and I chose not to. So I could have had a chance to be there in a very significant part of history. But anyway, it's a long story, and I missed out on that. Cheryl Bennett, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And Cheryl, please don't forget to remind me because you know I'm going to forget. I am an aging, chubby, overcaffeinated baby boomer who seems to have long and short term memory loss, also known as selective memory, lack of memory. So, you know, I'm going to forget, but we'll celebrate here together. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. Prince Charles is a Scorpio. I think he was born on the 14th. I think he was born on the 14th. Why do you think I know how sinister he is? Oh, was it 108 years? Yeah, I guess it was 108 years for them to win the World Series. I think 1915 was the last time they won, right? It was 1915. So 2016, that would have been, or was it 1915 was the last time they won the pennant? But yeah, I know it was a long time though. Let me see. Our family had one time four Scorpio season brothers and sisters, 1025 brother and sister, 1 year apart, 1029 and 1117. Wow, that's a lot of shade in one house. Ooh, that's a lot of shade in one house. A lot of shade, a lot of plots and getting even. Oh man. Oh man, I'm sorry that happened. Well, you know what I say about Scorpios? The only reason why we're here is because somebody caught a chill in February, and 9 months later, the Scorpios showed up. Yeah, so that's how it happened. Somebody caught a chill back in February, and all those months later, I showed up. Yep. Somebody said my feet are cold, and next thing you know, the baby comes. Oh man. Let me see here. Wow, 1915 was the last time they won. That's when my grandmother was born. She died in, wow, 2015. Wow. Wow, that's a blessing. Yeah, exactly, Lauren. That's a lot of like daggers hidden under pillows and secret recordings and who knows what else. You know how those Scorpios are. Sleeping with your fist balled up in case somebody started something. Oh man. Well, I mean, never a more loyal friend has there ever been. Just don't lie to him. Oh, thank you so much, Black Queen. Yes, please make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, please share if you guys are listening, even if you hate listening and you have not subscribed to Royal Sussex, please do because it helps. If you guys are hate listening, if you just can't stand that Baron and all that hyperbole and all that hemming and hawing and laughing and stuff, if you can't stand that Baron, the only way to make sure you have some place to go and hate every day is to support Royal Sussex. So right now, Royal Sussex has 28,310 subscribers. I see no reason why we can't get 50 more of them today. So you hate watchers, please make sure you subscribe to Royal Sussex and I'll be here for you to crap over for years to come. Promise. You'll have some place to channel and focus all of your hostilities toward me instead of messing with the Sussexes, okay? Yes, come here and be as hostile as you like. That's what we got moderators for. So I'll be here, and to make sure that I'm here, make sure that you like and subscribe, and please share this with this channel with other people that are just as contentious and contemptible as you are, probably. Okay. Listen, haters, do it. Just do it. I want to see that number go up. All right, so let's get the last word of the day, and let's give our daily thanks to the two amazing queens that made the Sussexes possible: Queen Doria, the queen of everything, and Queen Diana, our Queen of Hearts, who will finally have her voice heard to a much larger audience on November the 9th. I will be there. Oh gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm going to binge watch the whole thing. Oh, I can't wait. And we're going to talk about it and we're going to talk about it and stuff. So I can't wait, you guys. It's going to be a wang dang doodle. Let's see here. Oh, what's that? Pia McBrown, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday to you. Oh, wouldn't that be great before Thanksgiving? Oh, I hope so. That would be awesome. Okay, thank you so much again. And okay. Cookies and Cream says, everyone, let's continue to pray for the Sussexes and each other. Pray for the world. Thank you, Cookies and Cream. I think that sounds like a closing for me. And let me see if I have a list for today. Let me see if I have a list for today. Yes, I do. Thank you so much, Cheryl Bennett. And thank you for the new membership. Let me see. Who has the new membership? Oh, fudge. Let me see there. Oh gosh, I forgot who. Oh, it's let me see. The Greenix has 10 months membership. Daniel Medical, thank you for the super sticker. Nash Singby, thank you for the new membership. And Elaine Parker, thank you for the super sticker. And let me see. Yeah, I think that was it. And thank you so much for, if I did miss you guys, I do apologize for that. Yes, thank you one and all. And if I missed anybody, I regret that. And I will see you all tomorrow here on Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday, guys. Now it is time to ginger binge our way out of here. And cute Ginger Avenger. Okay, now let me see if anybody listened to what I just said. How many new subscribers? Not a one. It ain't moved a bit. Well, thank you, hate listeners and watchers. Maybe you'll catch me next time. But yeah, I mean, not a single digit. I say they know how to follow instructions. Let me see. Well, they didn't. But yeah, so it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun doing this, and I really, really appreciate you guys trusting me to do this work. That is means more to me than everything you can imagine in this world. Oh, Reba Henderson says, I am a new subscriber, 2 months. Very cool. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't pop up on the StreamYard, but I will see it on occasion if I'm looking at the other screen. So that is very nice. Oh, and a travel video. I am going to do another travel video. It has risen to a certain level of views that says, okay, it's not another food truck. Okay. So since I have risen above that food truck threshold, if you guys like one of the nights this week, we will do another travel video because I had fun doing that. And then it gives me a chance to share some of my photos. So the travel video I did last time was the one for Seville. It has got a whopping 4,939 views, right? Which is above that less than 4,000 that I received with the food truck video. So I think since we have managed to reach that threshold, since we have managed to surpass that threshold, then that means we'll have another travel video. So I'll do that. I'll do one this week. I'll try to find some plays interesting. And yeah, or maybe I'll do something for Italy so you guys can see how it was before it became a fascist state. How about that? we'll we'll do one for Italy, pre-police state. What do you think of that? The pre-fascist police state Italy. I think that might be fun. Yeah, well, we'll do that. Well, maybe Italy, or perhaps Spain, or Portugal. I'm leaning toward Portugal myself, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll do something this week for show, faux show. I'm sure I have been to neither, but well, Black Queen, you could always put something together yourself. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing and hearing it, described by someone that we all know and love that's actually been there would be even better. So, yeah, I wish somebody could make that happen. I just haven't had any experiences there. Um, I had only taken my first tropical vacation back in 2019, something I swore I would have never done, but I did. And so I have nothing for the Caribbean. As close as I come is Cancun. Ah, oh, yeah, no worries. That describes me most days of the week. Well, I mean, one hopes. I mean, they're here. We did have that troll the other day. All right, I'm going to check again before I go. And let me see if anybody new has signed up. Nope, it ain't moved. Well, sometimes when I say that, 15 people sign up, but nobody today. So, but that's okay. All right, you guys, let's do this in less than 2 hours. It is 1 hour, 59 minutes and 18 seconds. So, cheers and God save the content creators. Make sure you check out those other channels and support the Sussexes by supporting this community. All right, love you guys.